Welcome friends, welcome to another chapter of Excel training. In this chapter we'll learn few things about scenarios. But now first just give me some background to you. When we talk about Excel formulas, Excel formulas are perfect when we need to analyze information from the past like sales figures, some data, but life becomes more complicated or more difficult when we need to plan for the future. Some of the problems which we face are missing data. Excel formula requires exact values. There is no room for guesswork or estimation. Multiple possibilities. An Excel formula can give you only a single answer. If you need to make projections that can take best case and worst case scenarios into consideration, you have to create multiple versions of the same sheet. And the third problem with suppose if you have to predict for the future is calculating backwards. Often when creating a plan or a projection, we need to reverse engineer our information. Many times it is a bit difficult. So there is one solution in Excel which can help us out in order to plan for the future, which is called as the scenario. Scenarios help us perform multiple calculations on the same set of data, all within the same worksheet. So we need not again and again copy paste the worksheet and use formulas in every worksheet. Like if there is some error in one particular data set, then the whole of our work will go haywire. Okay, so now let's learn how to create scenarios. Okay, scenario, you will learn by creating the scenario. You will learn more about scenarios as and when you will do this exercise. Let's assume we have few regions and their total sales is given and the net profit is also given. The formula for net profit is this into this. Okay, 6% is the net profit. Now the manager wants to know what will happen, how much will be my profit if my profit margin is 8%, or how much will be my profit if my profit margin is 10%. So there is a trick in Excel called as scenarios, in which without copying this sheet or without even changing a single formula, we can check all the possibilities. That is why scenarios are used basically in order to predict future, when you have to make plans and when you have to give your best estimate, most likely estimate, or the worst scenario estimates. Now let's learn how to create a scenario. Go to data, go to what if analysis, go to scenario manager. Just delete these things, that we do it again together. So the first thing which you have to do is click on add. Okay, so you have to add a scenario name. So let's say profit margin 6%. Changing cell, this should be this, because this is where, or this is the cell which is linked in our all the formulas. That is why we have mentioned it as the changing cell, because if the value of this cell will change, all these values will change. Okay, so enter value for each of the changing cells. So 0.06, that is 6%. Profit margin may be 8%. Again, same cell. So okay, 0.08%. Add profit margin maybe 10%. Okay, 0.1. Okay, now we have given all the three scenarios to the scenarios manager. So now let's assume we want to know how much will be our total profit if we can have a profit margin of 10%. So margin will be 35234.40. If total sales is, if profit margin is 8%, then click on show. This is our profit margin. See the example which I have used over here, it's quite a very simple example. Now let's imagine you have a complex worksheet and you have lots and lots of links. You can, what we say, by means of scenario manager, you can find out how your data is behaving when you are changing the scenario or something like that. Okay, like profit margin 6% is this. So this is the way how scenario manager works. It gives you the output based on different conditions which you have specified. Now there's also a possibility of getting a report out of it, like summary. Okay, so in this case two options are there: scenario summary and scenario pivot table report. I'll go for scenario summary because pivot tables anyways we are going to do in our Excel training lectures, and you are free to explore this thing. So result cell means this cell. If the value of this cell is changing, what should be the resultant cell? This much. If this is 10%, this value will increase. If this is 2%, this value will decrease. So this is the cell at which we want to look at. So okay. So this is a very nicely made data by Excel, by scenario manager. So again it's nicely grouped and everything, so you can just ungroup it and explore it further. So this was one simple example of scenario. Now taking similar kind of example forward, now let's assume profit margin in this case is 10% and we are converting this to euros. Okay, so euros and then net profit in euros. You can have a look at the formulas how it has been done. Okay, now in order to create scenario for this, what we have done, we have first entered profit margin 10%, 8%, 6% and exchange rate 2 and exchange rate 0.55. so some value has been given with all these fictitious details. I'm not going deep into it, you can have a look at it. So we have the summary. Okay, so 0.55, 0.55, 0.97 and 0.77. This is the way the summary has come. So this is few things about scenarios. Okay, hope to see you in another lecture so that you can learn more about